Oh,
texts.
okay. Music
Songs.
order. Yeah.
Let's do I first, T last. I know I is long.
Okay.
Yeah.
I is long.
No, you know what? We can end with I. It's a little bit more upbeat than I like to usually close out, but you know what? Who cares?
Yeah, we get a pick.
Go out with a bang. So
yeah.
I first, then I'm sorry. T first, I last.
T first, I last, like T.I.
T.I.
Okay, I got it.
Like Treasure Island, one of the great hotels available on the Strip.
Yeah, right. See, you got Vegas on the mind's what you got. All right, I think we're ready. Okay, here we go. Chat room, tuck in. It's time. You get an hour of this, and then we're out. All right, here we go. It begins in 3, dose 1. Scroll up. Here we go. Tonight on TMS PM, Terry said some cool things.
Rogue One is the next Star Wars movie.
Giant lobsters.
Chris Pine is green.
Dan is here.
Your Twitter questions and more on this episode of TMS PM.
This is the morning stream, but it's not in the morning, it's at night. TMS PM.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to us. It's TMS PM, and it's us. It's me and Brian. Hi.
It's us. Hello.
Hi.
Hello, us.
Deserving nominees for the Podcast Awards 2015.
And that's all we're going to say about that. Please go vote. Vote stream every day.
Yeah, vote stream every day. Go vote now at podcastawards.com. You have until the 21st to vote every day in the categories you like, and there are many there to vote for in the Frog Pants family and extended friends who are doing shows as well, like Night Attack, DTNS, and others. So please spend your votes wisely and ever so frequently. And because I want to go to Vegas. Brian wants to go to Vegas. We want to go there, and not only want to go to Vegas, we want to come out of there with something in our hands.
That's right. Yeah, I'm already committed. I had to make that commitment a while ago because I can't just drive there in 5 hours.
I know. I am lucky that way. If there's look, Brian's not a jealous type at all. But if there's one thing that I have that he wishes he had, it's got to be the 5-hour drive to Vegas.
The proximity to Vegas would be very tempting.
Yeah.
5 hours. Yeah. That I wonder if that would be the line to where I would go there more often. Like, you know what? I'm just going to go there for the weekend. It's 5 hours away. I probably would.
You know, like old people do that up here a lot. They'll load up in a van or like a bus, and they go to Vegas. They'll just drive 5 hours to Vegas. Sometimes they'll go to Wendover, but that's about the same. It's like 4 hours or 3 or 3.5. But 5 hours, no big deal for a bunch of busload of old people. And if you lived here, you got that nice new Kia. You could just hop in there and go, yeah, we got a 4-day weekend. I'm gonna
exactly. Yeah, I'd probably do it.
Yeah,
I'd probably do it. And it's probably a good thing that I don't live that close, right?
Yeah, right. Because then what would you do? Well, either that or
a very thin membrane keeping me from being destitute and.
Yeah, there's a little paper thin onion skin between Brian and his upward mobility and complete devastation.
That's right, exactly.
And it's called Arvada to Nevada. Also, if I lived, and one day I may, because I really like it there and would really love to end my days there, but St. George, Utah, which is only an hour from Vegas, is beautiful and hot and dry and canyony and all the things I love, right? Big desert oasis, beautiful place. Mm-hmm. I may one day die there, but I wonder if the closer you get to Vegas, the less times you go, because the convenience is like, well, it's just there.
I can go anytime, so why? Yeah, it's probably
like House of Cards on Netflix, dude. It's just there, and you can see it anytime. Yet you never do, because a lot of us don't. But you know what I mean?
They say that's why you don't find a lot of Colorado natives who ski, because it's like, oh, the mountains are always there. I know I can always get to them, but.
Yeah, same in Salt Lake. I mean, there are hardcore people in Salt Lake that ski every ski season like crazy, no doubt about it. But I think there are more people coming into the state to ski than are native skiing. I think that's totally true. Colorado and Utah, we share the same snow. Mm-hmm. Smoke weed every day. All right, it's time for us to do a show. Thanks for all being here. This is the PM edition of the show, which is made possible by you at patreon.com/TMS. We much appreciate you guys doing that. There was a really cool kind of viral video that hit the web today. and it's funny because it came directly from Robert Downey Jr. and not from some other source. But he tweeted out this video of him working alongside this organization, which includes this college student who makes 3D, very intricate 3D printed objects like prosthetics and things for people who might need them, kids mainly. And they made this arrangement to take one to this kid whose name I forget, but he's got a growth problem, or not a growth problem. He was born with an arm that didn't develop right. And
Alex.
That's it, Alex something.
Yeah, Alex.
Alex Bowtie, we'll call him, because he had this rad bow tie.
He does have a rad bow tie.
So he shows up there without any knowledge, I don't think, to this hotel room where Robert Downey Jr. is, and in there he's got these two boxes, one with his actual prop arm from the movies that he can put on, the gauntlet and the armor, and in the other box this 3D printed prosthetic that actually works, like moves when you do stuff with it with your little stumpy arm. And they had this cute little conversation where he gave him this thing and talked about it, and the kid was kind of acting all like pretty aloof. It didn't seem to bother him that a huge movie star was sitting in there, but he knew who he was. And it was just a real tearjerker. So it got me to thinking, and totally worth seeing. If you guys haven't seen it, you should go out and find it. But it got me to thinking, how cool is it, especially lately, that all our fake heroes are doing really cool, like real life hero things, like that, and like the guys, Captain America and Star-Lord showing up at the two different children's hospitals.
Yeah. Right.
Because of that Super Bowl bet and all that kind of stuff.
Exactly. That's super cool.
Kind of a heyday for that stuff right now.
One real quick thing. I haven't checked out this video, but I'm looking at stills of it right now. He's playing. I mean, he's basically doing the Tony Stark role for this, right? Because he's got the
kind of. I mean, he's not in character per se, but
he's not. Okay.
He's
really hoping that he'd be like that.
He's just chilling, and when they asked him who he was, like the parents or somebody said, "You know who this is, right?" And he goes, "Yeah, it's Iron Man." And he goes, "Do you know his real name?" And he goes, "Robert." And then like he was all impressed that the kid would know his real name without any hesitation.
That's cool. Okay.
So he's not in there like faking like he's Tony Stark or anything. And the kids,
he just happens to wear a suit, when he goes out and does stuff like this.
Yeah, he looks like when he's in Hollywood, like red carpet things. That's how he usually looks like that anyway. But nice. He was obviously super nice. Clearly over his cocaine habit. Finally. Yeah.
If you lift this panel here in the Iron Man arm, there's a little something extra for you, kiddo.
Yeah, you just push on this and you can just snort it right from the finger. Anyway, it was.
And then the kid promptly crushed his English sheepdog's head just trying to pet the thing because the Iron Man arm was
this
so strong.
Giant gauntlet, and it's so rad. And the other part I liked was that Robert Downey Jr.'s gauntlet wouldn't work right. It was blinking. It was all like not functioning the way it was supposed to. Yeah, so that was pretty funny.
Oops.
They had a little exchange about that. The kid's arm was working way better than his. And anyway, it's just a nice reminder that, life doesn't have to be all about him making $30 million on a movie and then, retiring to his bed made of money and his many beautiful women. Sometimes it can be about him doing this real nice thing.
Yeah.
So there you go.
That's
do nice
cool.
things. How about that? That's what we've learned today.
Just do nice things. If there's one thing you can take away from all this.
Yeah. Do a nice thing. Damn you. All right, here's the news.
Television highlights of the news of yesteryear.
Let's do the evening news brought to you by.
This week on the storytelling podcast, Tell It Anyway. 3 stories about humiliation, including a too small bridesmaid dress, the only boy in jazz dance class, and that time Jenny got banned by the Lakers for asking Kobe Bryant the wrong question. I really want to know what that question was.
I do too.
Check it out at tellitanyway.com.
All right. That's a good
I'm
show.
so going to listen to that. That sounds fantastic.
They had me at only boy at jazz dance class. That's pretty good.
That was a great Paul Simon song.
Oh, wasn't it though? Oh, so far he's fallen. Actually, he's doing all right, isn't he? Isn't he
He's
hanging
doing
out?
just fine.
Okay. Him and Edie Brickell still doing it? Still hanging out?
Probably both, yeah.
I don't mean doing it like having sex. I mean, like, wasn't there a time when they were like touring together or kind of had some kind of something like that? Or was that never
I
a
wonder
thing?
if they do, because I don't remember if they ever did tour together. They might have, and you may be remembering that. But you never hear about Elvis Costello and Diana Krall touring together. And I wonder if there's a reason, like if the not frustration, but the stress of touring combined with the stress of a relationship
It's probably too
is
much.
like,
yeah.
yeah, like instant conflict and problems and
Ask everybody in Fleetwood Mac how that goes.
right.
Yeah,
Exactly.
they'll have stories to tell you. And then when they have to tour later,
Ask the captain and/or Tennille.
right? Like I always like it, like the idea that Fleetwood Mac has to roll around together and sing songs that are specifically about each other,
Right.
both good and bad. Like here was
Right.
when we were happy, and here's a song I wrote about how terrible you were and why we broke up. But now we're out singing it together in our 60s. Wee! Such
That is a weird thing, right?
Yeah.
Remember
Freaks
when
me
I
out.
told you were horrible and I never break the chain?
Was that
Train.
what that was about? That chain? I don't know.
Yeah, the chain is all about all that crap.
That is such a good song.
It
the
is,
best-
too. It
the
makes
best-
it even better knowing there's that story behind it.
Do you ever think like some of the best music comes out of like angst and pain? Sometimes.
Oh, I think so. Yeah.
It's unfortunate, right? But good for us.
It
I mean,
is. Yeah.
we benefit, but
You know, Rick Astley saying he's never going to give you up. That was during a happy time.
was it?
Sure.
What was
But
his
during, you
what was his other hit? He had another one.
know, Together Forever.
Together Forever. So they're both pretty upbeat.
Forever and never to part.
He didn't have any that were like, "You're a cow and I want out of this relationship."
No, but that would have been awesome.
yeah. So I don't.
I'm
you're-
about to give you up. I'm about to let you down.
I'm never gonna come around, and I'll hurt you if you do.
If I ever see you come around, I'll hurt you.
Cut a bitch. Let's see. Where are we here? Terry Pratchett. We talked about him dying earlier today. Some of his recent tweets, though, have taken the internet by storm today.
Oh, yeah.
Which is great. The writer's Twitter account first hinted at the news with a tweet in all caps, which is how the author had come to characterize death. One of his most memorable characters in his book, sadly, the sweet tweet confirmed the news. First tweet was, "At last, Sir Terry, we must walk together." Terry took, let's see, then the tweets followed like this. Terry took Death's arm and followed him through the doors and onto the black desert under the endless night. This is all written very much like a Discworld chapter heading.
Really? Okay.
A tweet with a press release announcing his passing from the publishers, and then a tweet that read simply "the end." Yeah, it's sad, man. You know, that guy worked hard. He had cool stuff. I'm telling you, Brian, now is the time. Pick up Discworld. Give it a shot.
Well, now that I know there aren't going to be any more books,
You like that, don't you?
I do. I like knowing that there's finite. You know, that's why I haven't started watching Doctor Who again, because
All right.
I know I could never catch up.
Right. Right. You just kind of, you know what? You just described, not to shift gears completely, but you just described why I have a hard time playing Hearthstone anymore. Because you skip the game for a couple of weeks even. And you go, what happened while I was gone? Oh, there's 15 million other new metagame things. None of your decks are worth a poo now. Those 2 patches changed everything. And there's an expansion with 200 new cards.
New cards.
And I
exactly.
still don't have all the original cards. Like, what am I even doing here? So I'll go and say, all right, I'll try a basic deck somewhere, find some cards that I do have. You know, I bought $50 worth of decks or whatever, and I'll go see what I can do. And I lose like 12 games in a row. I just give up. That's how I feel like it's never going to end until Hearthstone says, that's it. That's all the cards we're going to make. Have fun with the last, there'll be 5 expansions later. Just have fun with all the cards. Fine. Then maybe.
I'm in. Yeah.
Maybe I'll get in then.
Right. Wasn't there was a TV show that I binge watched after it got canceled because I knew it was like, all right, great. This is the time to watch it. I mean, I guess I did that with Breaking Bad when it was the half season break in the middle of 5. That's when I binge watched the whole thing. So
I didn't know that. I thought you were up all the time on every episode.
No.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Well, I'm with you. That's kind of how I look at these things. So, Terry Pratchett, may your hopefully your last book didn't end with like, and then a door opened up.
Right, a real cliffhanger. Yeah, no kidding.
That would be good.
But that's a great. I wonder if he set up with someone to say, when I die, here are the tweets I want you to send on my behalf.
Maybe
in this order and set them up.
Could have been his daughter. Maybe she's old enough. I wonder if I was thinking about this once, if I wanted to have something like that, instead of just having the account linger forever on the tweet that said, this is the best Coke I ever had, and then that's the last everyone heard from me. Like,
does this sandwich taste funny to anybody else?
Does anyone smell gas? Like, so many great last tweets that you could do, but maybe I want to hire like Carter to be in charge of like the password or something and go in there and and tweet 5 mandatory things I wanted to say. You know, or there's that thing where people have it live on forever. So like, I almost said Herb Albert, Robert Ebert.
Roger Ebert.
Roger. Why did I say Robert?
Or Herb Alpert is good too.
Okay, when Herb Ebert was reviewing movies, his wife still does the Twitter account now.
Oh, really? Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, and maybe that's the way to do it. It's also a little creepy because it just says Roger Ebert on there. So I don't know.
Do you think she brags to her friends about how many Twitter followers she has?
They call her a cheater behind her back.
That's right.
Let's see what else. Star Wars Episode V111 or 8, if you want to do it the proper way. I hate Roman numerals. Anyway, set for 2017. We got a date on that, and Felicity Jones is starring in that one-off, which is next year, isn't it? I thought 2016 for the one-off, right?
Right. 2015 for this one, for the first, for the 7th one.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, for the...
Seven's this new one. Seven's this year, then the one-off next year, and then 8 the next year, I think.
Right.
Which is fine with me.
That's crazy.
That's a lot of Star Wars, dude.
It is a lot of Star Wars. I mean, talk about ramping up. We're in a new era where studios get to, they know things are going to be so big that they can actually plan out like 7 movies in advance. I mean, look at what Marvel did with all of their superhero movies.
Yep.
This is something you never even would have heard of back in the day. I mean, George Lucas kind of did it in saying, all right, yeah, there will be, Star Wars was big, and I'd already planned for this to be a trilogy, so there'll be 2 more.
Yep.
But there haven't been a lot of these, in the past when we were kids growing up that they said, we've already Goonies hasn't come out yet, but we're already pretty much planning that Goonies is going to be this humongous smash, and we're going to do 5 Goonies movies.
Yeah, the way it works now does feel like a product of our time.
We're going to spin off Chunk and do his own thing.
Yeah. Oh man. I'd watch that. Jeff Kanata today had a great tweet that I had to favorite. He says, I was 8. There was a genie and a wish. I didn't think. I said someday I want all movies to be superhero and Star Wars movies. I apologize. And it's kind of true. Like, we are filling the schedule with this, like, all of our childhood memories, and it's great. I love it. This one's called...
You look at a bunch of the major A-list actors these days, and you try and think of who hasn't been used in a superhero movie, who isn't planned to be used in a superhero movie.
Right.
It's getting tougher and tougher.
It's going to be real weird to see one day. One day they're all going to be old, and we're going to say, remember when he was Captain America?
Right.
It's the strange thing to think. Disney says that we knew kind of what was going on with Rian Johnson in the new episode 8, but the spinoff is called Rogue One. Stars Felicity Jones from The Theory of Everything, where she played the wife of Stephen Hawking. So you know her.
She's awesome too.
I've heard. I still haven't seen that movie. I want to. It's the first film and is a unique series of big screen adventures that explores the characters and events beyond the core Star Wars saga, which is great. I'm all in for this whole idea. We don't know exact date on that one, nor do we know much else about it other than, we don't know what Rogue One stands for or any of that, but we'll find out soon.
Gotta say, I'm happy that they're going back to the May releases too.
Mm-hmm. That's good, right?
Yeah, it's like we always associated the old Star Wars movies with coming out in May, and so coming back to that I think is great.
I like it. Finally, Chris Pine, speaking of superheroes, Chris Pine is now being eyeballed to be the next Green Lantern. And if you think about it for just a second, it totally works. That is a great face, voice, and kind of acting style for Green Lantern.
For sure.
Yeah, way more than comedy dude. What's his name?
Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, 2 guys in a pizza place, man. That guy. Or 2 girls.
I like that you go to that and not to Deadpool or
anything modern.
Anything modern, right? You remember that guy from 2 Guys in a Pizza Place? Yeah. What's he doing now?
When he was 19 and it was barely the 90s. Yeah, he's Chris Pine would be great as Hal Jordan. I can't even imagine a better pick for that. And if that's true, and if he's in like the big Justice League business, that bodes well for me on all fronts. I like that a lot. So bring it on. Jon Stewart is writing that story, not the one you're thinking of, though.
That'd be awesome if it was Jon Stewart.
Yeah, that'd be great, right? Be a
well,
comedy.
No, Jon Stewart, the Green Lantern character.
It's Oh, was there a John Stewart Green Lantern character?
Yeah, one of the Green Lanterns was John Stewart. You had Hal Jordan, you had John Stewart, and you had
Who was the black guy?
John Stewart.
Oh, okay. I didn't know his last name was Stewart. It was John. Huh. Was there ever any confusion with Martian Manhunter? Because his name is John too, right?
John Jones.
Yeah,
Jones, yeah.
Yeah.
Who was the other one? There was another one that was kind of more of the reckless, haphazard dude.
He was like the X Games version of Green Lantern.
Well, sort of. I mean, he had the Green Lantern uniform that was, yeah, there it is, Guy Gardner. He had the one that was like a tough guy jacket, padded like motorcycle guy jacket. Do you remember that guy?
No, I don't remember him at all.
Guy Gardner.
Oh, here he
my
is.
God.
I'm reading about him now. In the late 1960s, he appeared as a second choice to replace Abin Sur as Green Lantern. Blah blah blah. Gardner was a candidate received into the ring. Jordan was closer. So he was a backup the whole time.
Right.
It says here. Defense.
Yeah, he had the the sleeveless green jacket with the black arms coming out of it, and it was like the leather, the collar always open, like a big old collar on it.
Well, there's more than you know. There was. Okay, here they all are: Alan Scott, Hal Jordan, Guy Gardner, John Stewart, Kyle Rayner, Simon Baz, Jade,
I forgot about Kyle Rayner. Yeah.
Thal Sinestro, and Jedidiah Call. However you say that name. Jedidiah Call. Anyway, I like the Green Lantern, and I really like Chris Pine, so we're in.
Mm-hmm. Good choice.
Yep, I agree. We're going to take a break. When we come back, Dan, the game board man, and we'll talk to Board Game Man. I did it again. The gay board man.
Well, many of his games do involve game boards.
Yeah, I just don't want people to confuse him with the gay board man.
The board, yeah.
Who's just get bored and so gay. But no, he's the. I need to change the way that reads because I can't do it. Anyway, he's coming up. We got your questions, and we got a little bit more than that. But before all that, Brian has music. What do you got?
I do. Matt Smith wrote in, said, "Hey guys, my fiance Sylvia and I are getting married on Pi Day 3/14/15, and since this is the closest TMS to the big day, I figured I would ask you to play a song that's near and dear to us. The Talking Heads, This Must Be the Place. And while she may not have let me hold the ceremony at 9:26 a.m., so it's 3.1415926, et cetera, et cetera. Right. She still agreed to marry a geek like me. Never for money, always for love, though. P.S. We're having lots of pies instead of a wedding cake, keeping in the theme with our mathematical wedding date." That is awesome.
Nice.
Very cool.
Nice.
So yes, he requested a cover of "This Must Be the Place" by Talking Heads. This one performed by Kishi Bashi from the 7-inch singles album. By the way, we talked about, did we talk about that earlier with bands that don't have "the" in the name, or was I talking to somebody else about that? I guess I was talking to somebody else about that, but it's Talking Heads, not the Talking Heads.
Oh.
And there's other bands like that. For a while, Smashing Pumpkins were the Smashing Pumpkins and then went back to Smashing Pumpkins.
Oh, right. Because why did they do that? What did it matter?
I know. Well, it's funny because the Talking Heads, look at that, I just did it. Talking Heads even released an album called "The Name of This Band is Talking Heads."
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Weird.
I don't know if they did it for that reason, but it sure is. It's funny. Anyway, "This Must Be the Place," performed by Kishi Bashi.
All right, well, let's play it. We'll be back in a minute. Everybody, stay where you are. We'll be right back. Wow, that was intense at
That's
the
how
end
it
there.
ends.
Good gosh. Oof. I feel different. I feel changed.
I feel funny.
I feel weird. Okay. Well, what are we doing now? Let's see. Let's get Dan in here.
Dan, yeah.
Yeah, it's 7:00 Eastern.
The
That's what we told him.
bored gay man.
The bored gay man. I really like it. It has a ring to it. Dan. One of the most, that guy should run the new Media Expo. He's one of the most organized, like, has it under control guys I've ever met in my entire
Really
freaking
is.
life.
Yeah.
And he has a theme, and we like to play it, and I can't find it. There we go. Okay, there it is. And now we play it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, join me in welcoming to the show Dan, the gay bored man. who joins us. Yes, you are home. Who joins us all the way from the eastern half of these United States, these states united. It's good to have you here, Dan. How are you?
Good to see you, boys. I'm doing good.
Oh, that's good. How's hockey tonight? Did you have that?
No. Actually, the season's over. We have evaluations for spring season for the kids. DJ's going to move up to U10 and play a season up a level.
So how hardcore is it?
Cool.
Like, is it super intense for the parents and the kids and rigorous and like all the parents want to kill each other by the time it's done? That kind of stuff.
You know what? Normally it's not, but you hear all these stories about Hockey Mom.
Yeah.
And it's funny that you should say that. Sunday was our jamboree, where we have you play like every team, like 20-minute games and stuff like that.
Sure.
A coach, two kids decided they weren't going to go through the handshake line for one of the other teams on a game that was on the ice, and then one of the kids was trying to start a fight. This is a 7 and 8 year old kid trying to start a fight.
All right.
So the kids just kind of went off the ice, and the coach was trying to get the two kids together as a teaching moment.
Yeah.
The two kids that didn't shake hands and the other. So one of the parents started screaming at the coach. And I was standing right there, and the coach went on the ice, and I was standing there. Of course, I'm the guy standing there in my coach's jacket. And I'm like, listen, relax, just turn around. Because their day was over. I said, it's 8-year-old hockey. Turn around and leave. And the guy's just screaming in my face, and his wife is in my face, and another parent. And I just kept repeating it. It's 8-year-old hockey, dude.
Yeah.
Go home.
Gotta
turn around and go home.
Take a Valium and sit down, because
and they wouldn't. And then two people had to restrain the guy.
Wow.
And I said, if you want your kid to ever play in this league again, you'll go home. And then he gets even more. He's like, are you threatening me? And yeah, I am.
I totally am. So was he going after you specifically because you had a coach jacket?
Yeah, because I was trying to tell him, listen, just leave.
Yeah.
And then they're like, well, what is the other coach doing? I said, I don't know, but I will be certain to find out. I'm a coach. I'll go talk to him and I'll find out.
Yeah.
Instead of trying to jump at the guy, let's find out. Because that coach was one of the nicest guys. I mean, he's a bigger guy, but he's one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because this all is coming up because I just saw a video on YouTube where a parent was so mad at something that got called on the ice that he got up to the glass and was like yelling something and then just elbowed the glass like he wanted to bang it and have no big deal. Totally shattered it. Just shattered the glass everywhere.
I saw that video. That was crazy.
And I think people forget that's not just rubber,
Right after that, so nice going, Frank.
Yeah, good job, Frank. Good job, Gerald.
That glass is not easy to break. The way that one was set up, it's kind of like I think it's the seamless glass where it's just connected at the top, so it's a little easier to break than most normal glass.
Yeah.
But that stuff is not. I mean, I can skate in and just slash a stick off the glass and not even come close to chipping.
Well, isn't it Schwood in one of his TV episodes things for Hack the System or something where he showed you how you could break glass real easy, and it was like a ring with a little ball peen, like a little hard tip on it, and it's all you needed was this really central point of impact, and that's all it took to shatter it. I wonder if that guy's elbow acted as that.
Yeah. I guess you find that exact point.
Jeez.
There's some science in there, man.
Right.
Yep.
Can all learn
But
something.
you almost mentioned you mentioned the Smashing Pumpkins. They did my favorite cover of all time.
Oh, really?
That Destination Unknown.
Yeah, the Missing Persons Destination.
Oh, really, really good.
One. Yeah.
Yeah, that is good. Actually, why did I think that was them though? I didn't know that was a cover as usual. Yeah. It's like, I always do this. My Sharona and freaking. There's a million of them where they're not their songs.
Well, the Knack was the first.
Oh, they were.
Yeah.
So what you're telling me is there are certain songs from certain bands where I think they're covers, but it's them. And then there are others where I think it's theirs and they're covers. Great.
Exactly. That song you love by George Harrison, Got My Mind Set on You, that's a cover.
Okay, good. Because you don't want to take full credit for that pile of garbage.
as much as we think he just sat there singing those six words,
Yeah.
he didn't really come up with those.
No, he didn't come up with those 6 words. Yes.
Yeah. As
His
my
guitar was weeping in the corner.
yeah, I was gonna say his guitar gently weeps. My eyes gently weep when I hear that song.
And then you were talking about Green Lantern. It's funny because like every week when I'm about to come on, you guys touch on like 3 things that I'm screaming at my screen.
Yeah.
Because I'm a huge Green Lantern.
What do you think of Chris Pine as a pick for that?
It would be great. I mean, I'm guessing they're going to go back to Hal, but there's so many good Green Lanterns. I really thought they were going to go with Jon Stewart because they were talking about Idris Elba or Tyrese being Jon Stewart.
Oh, Idris Elba, dude.
Yeah.
He could do it. I've heard
He
him
would
fake.
be-
I've
he'd
heard
be
him
BA,
fake the
man.
accent. He could totally do it.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be
And
awesome.
I always say I have kind of like this out of left field. Guy Gardner. See, you may not know Guy Gardner. He's kind of a wise ass.
yeah.
He's got that weird hair. He's kind of almost has like a flat top. I think
bowl cut.
Jake Busey would be a great Guy Gardner.
That's not bad. Here's the thing, though. I don't think, just to put a pin in this, I don't think that they ever steer too far from what they think is the generally accepted core dude. So it's like saying, you know, you're never going to get anything other than Peter Parker, at least for a while. You're never going to get anything other than, I don't know, I'm trying to think of another character. Like, you're never going to have the Thor that was like that lizard spaceman Thor.
Right.
It's never going to be that.
Yeah. Beta Ray Bill.
Yeah,
You're
that
not
guy.
going to get the alternate Batman like, when Nightwing was Batman for a while, when Robin was.
Yeah, they'll never do that. If they do, it'll be like TV or maybe movies will start to accept that. But right now, it's like everybody. It's safe to say Hal Jordan. It's unsafe to say Jon
Well,
Stewart.
Let me ask you
Yeah.
this. If Robert Downey Jr. does say, I am going to retire, I'm not going to do any more Iron Man, would you accept Don Cheadle stepping into the armor? Because Rhodey did wear the Iron Man suit for a while.
Well, I would. Yes.
Yeah, we would, but I don't know
Yeah,
if the
but would
public
fan,
would.
I guess
Yeah.
that's what I mean. Is would non-fans, non-Marvel fans accept
I think
that?
people who just like the mainstream popcorn movie of it all, I think they would be like, "Where's Tony Stark at? And who's this black fellow?" And you can
Well,
say,
now-
"Well, he
now
was
with
in the
the-
last 3. We can explain all that again." I don't care. This isn't Tony Stark anymore. I think people would have a
reboot,
hard time. Yeah.
With the reboot to Spider-Man, they could really get what is the Hispanic Spider-Man that they've got?
Miles Morales.
Miles
Morales.
yeah.
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 That would be great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they won't do it.
They won't
like
do
you
it.
said, it's Peter Parker all the way.
Yeah.
I just don't want to suffer through another origin story.
No, I don't either, dude.
Oh man.
Look,
yeah,
I want
no.
him to go. Just have a big black screen with white letters that says he got bit by a spider. He can shoot shit out of his wrists. Everybody, stop. I mean, I don't
Is there
want to do
anybody
it.
here who doesn't know that he was bitten by a radioactive spider?
Raise
Okay,
your
good.
hand,
Let's
and
move on.
an usher will help you out of the theater. And you can go watch something else. You
And
idiot.
it'll
Three
be a
copies
guy.
of the first Sam Raimi movie, for those who aren't familiar.
It'll be a guy just reading a newspaper on the street next to, just looks at the screen and goes, yeah, I know. Yeah,
Yeah.
even I do.
Yeah, everyone knows. That is the most known origin story of all comic book herodom. They don't need to do it again. And they won't. It doesn't sound like they're going to, so that's good.
No.
He just needs to show up in Civil War and just kind of just show up in next to, Captain America, and they just say, "Oh, hey,
Yeah.
hey, Peter,"
Hey, Peter, what's up?
and that's it.
Yeah.
You don't even
Right.
think about
He'll
it.
go,
You don't even
I'm
acknowledge
skipping
it.
class for this. And then swing out of somewhere. All right. So let's talk about board games. You bringing
man.
something crazy to the table is what I understand.
Well, what we got this week, I'm going to talk about a couple of Kickstarter projects. Now, I'm not going to do this very often, but there's a couple of. March has been an absolutely insane month for really good Kickstarters, and these are 2 very cheap Kickstarters I want to talk about. And then I'm just going to throw out a documentary that I think you guys should check out, and
All right.
I'll try to get you guys. I'll talk about this later, but I'll try to get you guys press passes to look at this documentary. But first thing is Bottom of the Ninth by Dice Hate Me Games. It's a real quick card game where it's basically the bottom of the ninth. The game is tied, and pretty much the way the rules go, to explain it all away, if you go to extra innings, the team that's against you is going to win anyway. So you've got to win now. So it's basically a one-on-one battle. Somebody's got the pitcher, and they've got these little cards, and everybody's got these funky little baseball cards, and you're going to pick where the pitch is going to be because you have these little tokens. And it says low and away, and the one that's got inside and away and high and low. And you're both picking. You're trying to pick where the pitch is going to be, and the pitcher's picking where he's throwing the pitch. And then depending on if the batter picks it right or not, then the pitcher rolls some dice, and it's either going to be a strike, possibly a hit, or a ball. And you're just trying to get around the bases. And every batter has some abilities, and a pitcher has an ability depending on whether you guessed correctly or you guessed incorrectly. So then, depending on there's a little dice rolling, and there's even an element where you're both trying to roll a 5 or a 6 first, and then you got to scream safe or out when it gets hit into the field. So a real quick 5 to 10 minute game.
Wow.
You set up your lineup. I'm actually going to have a card in this game.
How do you have stuff already? This thing still has like 2 weeks left to kickstart.
Oh, my buddy.
You get connections.
Well, my co-host on the Geek All Stars is Chris. He's the one that owns Dice Hate Me Games.
Oh, wow. Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
And we get a lot of prototypes anyway. Like the next game I'm going to talk to, I got a prototype, and I'm not affiliated with them. But this one, I wouldn't say I'm affiliated, but I help out and we do a lot of testing. But if you see, like, the art is really cool. This is actually
The
artist,
art is
Adam McGarver.
gorgeous.
Dan's helping me test Dungeon Murder. Oh, I haven't even told anyone the name yet. Whoops. Anyway, Dan's helping me test my card game. That's all I'll say. No, that's really cool, and what an awesome connection to have, man.
And I
Yeah,
think,
no kidding.
Scott, did I text you what my card's going to look like?
No, not yet.
I'll text it to you. It's really, really cool. It's kind of a caricature. I mean, I'm a tall, lanky guy anyway. To have this like stork-looking neck, and I'm going to be a pitcher, and its name is Hurricane Patrice. So it's
Nice.
pretty cool.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, so that's just for you TMS PMM because it hasn't been really announced.
Ooh, look at
which
us.
cards
Look at
are
us with
in
the
it. So-
exclusives. Yeah, this is
Yeah.
sweet. All right.
So, and then the next game I kind of alluded to a few weeks ago when I was talking about Vault Wars. Like, we all love Storage Wars. Remember the game we were talking about that a few weeks ago, Vault Wars?
Yeah.
Well, it's actually on Kickstarter now. Another game that's real cheap. It's only like $20. And each round, each person will have a card, and it'll tell you how many cards are in. So basically, it's set in that medieval world where adventurers have gone off to try and slay, anybody in WoW. Gone off to slay somebody and they died, so their vaults are there. So they didn't come home. They didn't come home after trying to defeat Magtheridon.
Magtheridon. There it is.
There you go.
That's a good
So
one.
it's just and what you're gonna do is you're gonna pick some cards.
Yeah.
And so the person everyone trades around being auctioneer. So the person will look at the cards that's the auctioneer, and then he has to reveal a certain amount, like maybe one card to everybody. But then each person gets to peek. It kind of simulates them looking in the door of the vault, kind of like the old Storage
Oh,
Wars.
that's cool. Right.
And then they only get to see, have to shuffle up, and they only get to see a couple, and then that goes around the table. And then the auctioneer will start the auction at 3 gold. Or if he knows there's, shite in there, maybe he tries to convince people that there's better stuff in there. And he's like, 5 gold. And then whoever gets the highest bid gets it, and they may have junk in there. And depending on what they have, they can get stuff they can equip to collect different sets. You can sell some of your stuff to get gold, and then you're trying to collect sets for victory points at the end of the game. Real quick, real fun, real screw with your buddies type game. Only $20 up on Kickstarter.
I love the
That's
art.
gorgeous.
The
too.
art
more,
is
more gorgeous art.
Yeah,
too.
I love the
Oh
art.
yeah,
That's one of my
Jackie
favorite
Davis
bits.
that does the art.
Oh, really?
Really good.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
I've seen his work before.
it's a she, but that's okay.
Wait. Who'd you
Jackie Davis.
Oh, I thought you said Jack E. Davis.
Oh no, Jackie Davis. She
Wait.
did Bell of the Ball.
So gay
and,
board man. Got it. All right. Gay board man. It looks real familiar to me. I really like this. This is beautiful.
It's gorgeous.
It's
Yeah,
got
yeah.
that same art as it's set in the same universe as Epic Resort
Yeah.
that we talked about a while back, where they were the adventurers were going to the resort to rest and relaxation, and you have to kind of.
How common is that, by the way, when to do that? Because I know it happens in video games a lot, but how common is it for board games to kind of share universes and stuff like that?
Well, the universe, that's just because it's the same company. The universe thing is kind of a newer thing where some companies are trying to stick with the same universe to see if they can get some people to, just catch on and really like the universe. But it's more, it's probably a little more common that artists are common. Like Adam McIver is the one that did Bottom of the Ninth, and his art, and there's certain artists that are just getting really popular like right now. Like Jackie Davis and Adam McIver are two of the hottest artists, and they're really, really good artists.
Yeah.
As far as having that certain style.
I like that they're getting notoriety specifically in this space of tabletop art. Like that's
Yep.
It's always cool to see in anything that's kind of burgeoning or happening in a way like this. It's just cool to see who the rock stars are as they start to kind of come out of it organically, and it's often the visual part of it, in this case the artists. I think that's awesome. That's really cool.
And a lot more attention is starting to get paid to art in the game because it really brings people, especially if you're going to do like a Kickstarter project.
sure.
You really want to pop. You want to have that art ready.
Yeah.
Kind of like your cards. I mean, your cards, the art on your cards are fantastic.
I'm super stoked about the art. The real trick is going to be hammering out the gameplay, but the art I'm pleased with, and that'll continue to evolve. But that's one of the things I hope is once I'm finished with that thing, and we get it to stage where it can be kickstarted or however we're going to do it. I'm hoping that visually the punch is there, like that. That's in a lot of ways it's most important to me because I want people to get the feeling of the thing before they even decide to go for it.
Yeah.
Also, I want it to be fun to play, but that's the other thing.
The gameplay, we'll get that ironed down because that just takes more play, little tweaks, and more play. So,
well, I got good guys on my side. I got Dan, I got Ralph, I got like smart tabletop fools who are going to help me do this. Anyway, sorry. Continue.
So the documentary that I was going to bring up for you, which would be real good for you to watch too. It's called The Next Great American Game. You can check it out at tabletopmovie.com. Now, this is about a guy named Randall Hoyt. This is not to be confused with Randy Hoyt, because Randy Hoyt's actually a designer and developer, but Randall Hoyt's a gentleman that thinks he's come up with the next great American game called Turnpike. Now, the big thing about the movie is he has no experience in board games whatsoever and doesn't really know what he's getting into. And now, at first, it's kind of like watching a train wreck, but it really, it gets a little difficult to watch it for the first little bit. And then all of a sudden there's kind of a little twist to it. So you really got to stick with it. It's not very long, but it's really, really good because the game almost becomes that extra character in the movie where it's not just something he's selling. It's more like a character and really seeing how he embraces some of the things people tell him about his game and about changing the game or about what he needs to do or if he can produce it or publish it. And it's really just a mindset of him, what he's going through. It really is a pretty cool documentary if you like that sort of thing.
I love that sort of thing.
And this game looks awesome. Like the little shot they've got with all the little tiny cars on the roadway. This looks really cool.
So yeah, I'll try and shoot you guys an email about. I'll talk to the director because he's been sending me emails, and because I got to watch it a couple weeks ago. So I'll see if I can get you guys a link to go ahead and watch it, and we can talk about it in a few weeks.
I'm all
Very
in.
cool.
That's cool. As always, a pleasure, man.
Yeah, man.
Fun to hang out.
Hey, did you real quick before you go? Did you get in on that Ghostbusters Kickstarter?
It was a little rich for my blood. I really wanted to. I wasn't not going because I wasn't a fan of it because I really love what Cryptozoic does. And the game, I mean, it's kind of like some other games with the Ghostbusters theme, which is fine for me. But man, it was like $80, and it made a ton. There's going to be so many good things in that box because of stretch rewards and stuff. I just didn't get in on it. I did really want to though.
Is it the Cryptozoic? Oh yeah, there it is.
Did really well with funding. I got in on it. So on that low level though with. That thankfully is getting beefed up with all those stretch rewards, but it was a hard one to decide on because $80 for a board game is
a lot.
Is pushing it for me.
That's why the two I picked tonight, like Bottom of the Night's only 25, I think, delivered, and the other one, Vault Wars, is only like 20. So those are nice and easy.
Both great picks too.
Yeah,
cool.
The best thing about that Ghostbusters one is their caricature art on all the characters are pretty fun, but the best one is Ray. I just love that one of Ray.
And those sculpts look so good. I mean, the miniatures look really good. I mean, there's a lot of rendering and stuff, but I mean, they're pretty good at duplicating what their renders look like.
Pretty sure they're going to. Well, I shouldn't say this without them being able to say it for themselves, but let's put it this way: I predict that Cryptozoic will be bringing this at least in prototype form to Nerdtacular. I'm not 100% sure about that. But that's just.
I think you got a guy.
What's their expected delivery date on that? Do you know? Are you on the page right now?
I was. And then it clicked out because I clicked it. Hold on.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's not you. It's just me. It's me, man. It's me. Hold on.
I know, but I can get there faster. Oh yeah, and Exploding Kittens. I backed that one too. I like backing games on Kickstarter. This is one I backed a few months ago. Pairs.
Oh yeah, how is Pairs?
Oh, cool. It's good. Yeah. Echo Chernik, and this is a lot of fun. Played this with the neighbors, and the neighbors that were not drunk and able to understand the rules, which are very simple, really enjoyed the game.
No, good. Oh, that's right. You were telling me the story about how she couldn't get the rules down.
Yes.
That was an amazing. And there's the other game too that Dan had recommended that she really struggled with. What was it called?
Oh yeah, the
where you had
Snake Oil?
Snake Oil, yeah.
Snake Oil, yes.
It's so funny.
Oh no, that was Tina's mom that couldn't figure that one out.
Oh, it was a mom. It was something like that.
Yes.
I couldn't remember. It's like trying to make.
Ghostbusters will be October. Actually, October of this year. Man, I find that hard to believe.
That's fast, isn't it?
Because I would say that'll be pushed.
Pieces.
Yeah. Well, they got all that hex money. You know,
Right.
be all right.
Yeah, but even that, I mean,
Kittens.
there's only so much. There's only so fast you can produce those things.
Now, Exploding Kittens is set to be delivered in July 2015, so that might get here before Nerdtacular. I
Could
mean,
be,
you know,
yeah.
if they meet their goals, it'll get here before Nerdtacular.
We'll see how it
If
goes.
they meet their well, that thing is. I mean, that's all cards, isn't it? Exploding Kittens.
It's all cards.
So
Yeah.
that should be. I mean, especially with that money, they could probably pay for a premium to get printed pretty quick.
Yeah.
Well,
print-
they did a stretch goal of some big expensive box. I could see them pushing them over the the
Oh, yeah.
That's true. They got
You know,
to-
and with
yeah.
Kickstarters, generally almost unless it's cards and stuff, board games, you gotta expect 3 to 4 months usually delayed, unless they're already a year and a half out. Expect a little bit of a delay.
Some of that oatmeal money, man. Whew. All right.
So-
Well, excellent stuff. Dan, where can people find you?
Check out thegeekallstars.com. And if you're in the Raleigh area in 2 weeks, on the 22nd, well, it's just under 2 weeks, so I won't talk to you guys before then, but on the 22nd, I'm playing in the Carolina Hurricanes alumni fantasy game.
Ooh.
So I'll be on the ice with former players and Hall of Famers like
Oh,
Rod
wow.
Francis,
Jeez.
Rod Brindamore, Glenn Wesley. I'm really excited to get out there on the ice with these guys.
Get in a fight, dude.
No,
I
no.
want to see a fight. There's a reason why we go to hockey. No, that's not true. We like hockey because hockey's great. Dan, stay out of trouble. Have fun. Good luck with that. And we'll talk
All
to you
right, boys.
soon, buddy.
Play some
All right,
games.
see ya.
Let's see.
You know, he has a broken nose. I should ask him what that came from. Probably hockey's my guess.
Yeah. Bar fight
Bar
fight
fight.
over board game.
Someone said, "Hey, are you a gay board gamer?"
Right, exactly.
Um,
I actually just got the notification less than an hour ago, or a little more than an hour ago, I should say, that the 3D printer that I backed 2 years ago, the Micro
oh,
on
right.
Kickstarter, is finally shipping.
No way.
Finally, I got to figure out what's the first thing I'm going to print when that thing arrives.
Yeah. I imagine you have because you do back and support a lot of these things. Yeah, I
Yeah.
imagine there's 100 of them out there kind of in the air, and you'll probably, like me, I'll often forget. Like sometimes
Yeah.
I forget I had Amazon sending me something, and then
Oh, I know. Yeah, it's like Christmas. Like you get this box, it's like, ooh, what could be in here?
yeah.
And you open it, it's like, oh yeah, there was a Gizmodo deal for like socks. And some
Yeah,
bunch of
I do that all
socks.
the time. It's funny how that works. Back in the day, it would be like one thing once a month, and it better get here on time. Like, not the same world we live in now. All right, let's do some Twitter questions from the listeners, and they came to us, and we have to play this.
Bird goes
And you can always follow me on Twitter.
Bird goes tweet.
Want to go bird hunting this weekend?
That guy on Twitter lied.
I decided to do all of them.
Awesome.
I love Big Bird.
There's another one.
I just love the bird goes tweet.
It's a good one. All right, let's start with this one. Would you spend the night with Willy Wonka inside his office, just you and him? What if he told you to lick Schnozzleberry Wall? Would you? This is Salted Snake Enterprises asked this question.
Wow. No, if I'm gonna be spending the night at Wonka's factory, it better be out in the factory and not in that horrible half office.
Yeah, the office was the worst place in the building.
Really
so
was.
I don't want to
It's
have
really
anything to do
half-assed.
with it. I'm with you. Nice. Peter Fisher says, Scott, have you seen my Facebook Skype messages with ideas for NT15? No, but I'll look. We're pretty good on ideas.
Yeah.
we have a lot going on, a lot being juggled right now. So, but I'll check it out. We're always open to suggestions. Absolutely. But if you do things on Facebook and expect quick replies from me, I'm kind of terrible at that. I don't check my Facebook messages very often. I check Facebook a lot, but I don't look at the private messages because I don't need like a fifth email. So I don't usually go in there.
Yeah.
Oh, that's weird. Anthony Carboni just replied to me about something. What did he reply to me about?
Boney?
Sort of like that 360 turn on decision. Carboni. He's Anthony, the one who does stuff with Jeff Kanata and video game guy. Anyway, I'll find out what
I never heard him called Boney before.
I thought I said Carboni, didn't I?
Oh, the Skype cut out, so
Oh.
I just heard Boney. Boney
Anthony
replied to me.
Boney. All right, I'm not used to Twitter.com doing that to me. It's like throwing these up as pop-ups. That's odd. Okay, anyway. Scott Lee says, if you win a podcasting award, will you touch Dennis Miller's butt? No. But I will feel his hand on purpose. I want to feel his hand to see if it's
Really?
crusty.
See
Yeah.
if it's crusty.
Would you? What are you going to do? You're going to try to
Crusty
slip a little...
SNL hand.
I just want to see if it's, warm. Is it cold? Is it Is it grizzled? Is it?
I really will go if like we get up there to accept an award. I will go big fan cha-cha.
Cha-cha. Are you gonna? You're really
Yeah, I'll
gonna.
totally do that. I will absolutely do that.
That's something Brian does. I don't know what I'm gonna say. Probably nothing. I'll probably just go up and say thanks. Here's one. You ready for this one?
Yep.
Seeing as Brian is master of impressions, says Daniel, can you do Mark Hamill's Joker? Scott should give it a go as well, just for the lulls. I can tell you right now, I can't do that at all.
Yeah, and I need to hear it. It's been a long time since I've heard Mark Hamill's Joker.
Yeah.
Or his Toymaker for that matter, but I hear he's going to be making an appearance on The Flash here pretty soon.
Oh, is he? I didn't know that. Let me see if I can. I mean, his thing. Well, here, let's hear a sample of it.
Okay.
Mark Hamill.
I know it's like a nasally. I see it. It's going to come out as. Yeah, it's going to come out as Skeletor.
Well, let's see here.
The Joker. Let the good times roll.
See, I think he's just being him, and he's got.
Oh yeah.
You know.
Yeah, no, it's less of a nasally thing. It's like a.
Batman.
I'd have to practice that one off the air.
I'm not wearing pants.
I have a great cover of Mark Hamill singing "Only You."
Oh.
From the end of Arkham Asylum, I think it was, where he calls up Batman and sings "Only You."
Here it is, right here. Let's play a taste of it. Here we go.
Except they've added extra music to it.
Oh, they
it's
did?
Way better. Yeah, the actual audio is just him singing it without any instrumentation, and they've added this.
Well, this is in game. Is it the same place you heard it? Is on a soundtrack or something?
Might have been on a soundtrack.
Because in game he's dancing around as the character.
This would seem right.
With his
It
microphone.
was like a voicemail that he left. Because you remember how you get those voicemails
Oh, right.
in game,
yeah,
and that's how you received this. It was like, let me pull it up here. I'm gonna throw it really quickly in the deal while we're talking.
All right, throw it in the deal. Stick it in the deal.
Stick it in the deal. Arkham City was the game.
Are you ready to receive my limp deal? Hold on.
Oh, it was the trickster, not the right, of course.
Yeah. It looks like there's
There you go.
All right. Is it in something?
It's going up in the PM folder.
Oh.
It'll take a second. Still
Gotcha.
showing. Uploading. We did. There we go. Now you should see it.
Okay, let's see. TMS covers, PM, only you. Okay, here we go. Let's hear this.
You have one missed call. Call received 3 hours ago.
Only you.
Ooh, creepy, dude.
Yeah, it really is creepy.
Make this world seem right.
His Joker is creepy. It really is something else, that thing. And the fact that it's Mark Hamill is just the gift that keeps on giving.
It really is, yeah.
Let's do 2 more of these. We got one here from hold on. Let's see. You have a whole weekend to yourself, no commitments. What do you do? Says Matt McChesney. I don't know.
The whole weekend and no commitments.
No commitments at all? I
think it's finally time for me to unwrap some of those video games that I haven't played yet.
Yeah, I would say I would actually eat a lot of food, play a lot of video games, watch a couple of movies. Like, I love just chilling. I'd probably go run outside. It depends on time of year, probably. But if let's say it's the winter. Let's say it's right now. It's kind of cold and there's not much else, that you want to go out and do. It'd be movies, video games, and pizza.
Yeah.
Real simple
That'd be
needs.
for me as well. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's
Maybe a marathon of some movie series that I haven't watched in a while or something, but
right on, man. Oh, let's do it together.
Okay.
Next time we have a weekend where nothing has to be done.
Right. Good luck with that.
Yeah, I don't have that. Matthew Sargent, final question. What do you guys think of the blues and rock music they use in Peaky Blinders? I can't decide if it fits or not. I think it's really cool.
Yeah.
And it does fit for me, in a weird way.
It doesn't necessarily have to be accurate to the time period but it has to fit with the style of everything, which I think it does perfectly. There's a first episode they play, maybe it was the second one, they played the White Stripes cover of
oh, right.
Yeah, you know that I'm talking about.
Yeah, that was really cool, I thought.
Yes. Shoot, why am I not remembering
I can't
the name
remember
of the
it either.
song? It's like, it's the Infirmary, St. James Infirmary. Is that it?
Is that it? That might be it.
Yeah, but
I'm not good with the names, but I do.
great.
That was a great use of that song. The first part of season 2, there's a really great cover of what was it? It was so different of a cover. It's the night I texted you and said, dude, the cover's in the show, because this one was, and I wish I'd remember what it was, but it was so weird compared to the real song it was based on. It totally just nailed the vibe of everything. I think it's great. It's a little Baz Luhrmann-y of a thing to do, but when people do it right, I appreciate it, and I think this show does it right.
yeah, it's funny with Baz Luhrmann. It does take you out of the movie a little bit, but with this, it hasn't at all. It feels really good, really right in its place.
I completely agree. There's your questions. Thank you all for doing them. Hashtag is AskTMS. Keep them coming all week. We'll answer them on the show, especially those that come in on Thursday, since that's when we do the PM edition of the show. I think that's going to do it for us. Don't forget, patreon.com/TMS is where you can go and support and help us make this show awesome and keep the Friday or the Thursday second show happening. Frogpants.com/TMS is our website. As always, you can leave voicemails at 801-471-0462. Our email address is themorningstream@gmail.com. And follow us on Twitter. Coverville, Scott Johnson, Morning Stream. New instance tomorrow. No Current Geek as Tom's in South by Southwest. And I'm getting sushi tomorrow. So there's that.
Nice.
Yeah.
Me and Matt. I might too then.
Me and Mark, me and Dark Anders. We'll have dueling sushi with you and Arvada. See who wins.
I'm going to go to a place that's got a great happy hour. Dollar Sashimi.
Is that where is Leatherman going with you there?
No, we're going out to dinner right after the show.
Oh, tonight. Nice.
Yes.
Well, all right.
Leatherman. So he's going to show up with a chainsaw and
Leatherface. That's what I meant.
Yes.
All right. Well, it's all been very nice to be with you folks today. Thank you for all listening. Let's get out of here with one more song. And Brian, you probably brought one.
I did. This one's going to Daniel, a.k.a. Shaladane. Hello, Sponge and Bob. I'm writing to request a song for my lovely fiancée, Priscilla, on her birthday. It's fiancé day here. Fiancée Priscilla on her birthday. She loves everything Tomas does, but this song strikes a particular chord with her. She loves the horns. If you won't play the song, anything by Streetlight Manifesto, Tokay, or Bandits of the Acoustic Revolution would be a worthy substitute. Signed, Daniel. And the song that he's requesting is If Only for Memories by Streetlight Manifesto. Now, technically not a cover, although released at the same time as this album was an acoustic version of the album, a solo version by Tomas, because of a weird dispute with the record label. I mean, it was a very Streetlight Manifesto had some major issues with their label, and I don't think they're part of that label anymore. I think they've actually said, we're still going to tour, we're still going to perform, but we're not going to release any more albums, at least not that way. Crazy, totally crazy.
Right.
But this is Streetlight Manifesto from the album The Hands That Thieve from a couple years ago. It is If Only for Memories.
There you go. We'll see you guys, I guess, on Monday.
Yes.
Crazy. See you guys then.